I cannot believe that we are nearing March already. I feel like it's already been a year. Like 2026 has already been a year. This is crazy. Okay, if we're nearing March, what do we need to talk about? The books that we're going to read in March. So that's what we're doing today. This is my March TBR. Before we get started, hey there, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. This is Bookmarked by Jen, and I am Jen. And today we're talking about the books that we want to read, that we hopefully get to in March. I have a little bit of a list here. Not long. I try not to do too many. I talk about this every month probably, but it bears repeating. I don't read a lot. I don't read 20 plus books a month. I can't even probably get to 10. It's been a really long time since I've read 10 books in a month. Also, I don't know what it is, but as soon as I put down a book, I forget. We just talked about this in our buddy read February. What am I trying to say? Our live buddy read for February, which I can leave in a card for you and down below, which was For the Exception by Vi Keelan. Loved it. Spoiler alert. Loved it. Couldn't remember what the heck the book was about, and I have to talk about it in my wrap up here very soon. I have notes somewhere, but I just don't know where they are. Also, there are some books that I have to get to for certain reasons, whether they're arcs or for a team thing. They're books that I have to read. So I was just talking about this in a previous video where I think for like the next couple months anyway, that of course I'll be reading some books that I want to read. I throw that in there every month, but for the most part, there are some books that I just need to get to, and those might be like the only books that I get to for a little bit, and then probably in like the middle of the year, I'm going to open it up for just more books that I want to read. In the meantime, books just keep coming. New releases keep happening, and I feel like I get further and further behind, but that's okay. That is for another day. We're going to talk about the books that we're going to read in February, and I want to know what you're going to know, Jennifer. March. We are in February. What are we going to read in March? And I want to know what you're going to read in March. So drop me in the comments what you plan on reading in March. But here's what I'm going to read. The Prophet and the Church by Celia Aaron, which is the second and third book in the Cloister trilogy. The first book was The Maiden. I have already read that one. It follows Adam and Delilah, we think. I know, very cryptic. But the second book picks up right where the first book leaves off. So I'm assuming that the third book will pick up right where the second book leaves off. You definitely need to read these in order. It's not it's not like standalone interconnected series. It is a you must read in order type of thing. We learned in The Maiden that Delilah is there to find out what exactly happened to her sister. She infiltrated the cloister, is what it's called, knowing that she was in for some weird and crazy shit, but I don't think that she knew. She definitely did not expect what she was getting herself into. She knew a little bit. You really don't know what goes on behind closed doors until you are in the know of what is going on behind closed doors. She and Adam are paired together, and they have created this bond that is a bit unconventional, but she sees something human in him. I'm really excited to continue the series and get the third book underway and get this trilogy finished so I can like find out what the hell is going on. First one, I feel like, if I can even like, was the tamest maybe. I have a feeling like shit is about to hit the fan, and it's definitely going to get worse before it gets better. So, and I mean that in like the best way, but I feel like the first one set us up, and now it's about to happen. So there are two books that I'm going to be reading. Next up, I have Wilder Saint by QB Tyler. It's her newest release, and I mean, it's my queen. She's my auto buy. She's my auto read author. I cannot wait to read this. I am really, really excited to get to this one. So it's a taboo, sexy read. Of course, it's QB Tyler. The FMC and MMC are step siblings, and it does seem like they grew up together. Something that is a bit different is, from what I gathered from the little bit of the blurb that I read, I don't think that this is a big age gap, which is really unconventional for a QB Tyler book, right? I think that it seems like he's only like 2 years older than our FMC, so I don't know. But either way, whether it's an age gap or not, I cannot wait for the taboo, for the tension that is inevitably going to happen, the risk, and ultimately the goodness that QB Tyler delivers and kills at every single time. It's just that always been you energy. I'm really excited for it. Next up brings me to another new release that, again, so excited for. Taylor's Father by Penelope Ward, a standalone contemporary romance. So our FMC's best friend gifts her a vacation at a resort owned by his grandparents, where she meets and bonds with a man who's 17 years older than her. She's nursing a broken heart, and he is just reevaluating life. They match on a singles app that pairs based on proximity and end up together while vacationing, although she doesn't tell him her real age, but he kind of figures it out. The tension is there. The chemistry is already there. I think that they figure, let's just do it anyway, and we'll go about our ways. But then we jump 4 years, and she's at her best friend's wedding, and who is standing next to her best friend in the receiving line but the man that she had a really amazing time with on vacation, who just happens to be her best friend's father, Taylor's father. So next up, we have The Unraveling by Vi Keelan. I love Vi Keelan. I love Penelope Ward. I love them solo. I love them together. This one I haven't read. Obviously, Jennifer, you haven't read it. It's on a TBR. This one came highly recommended by Mandy from Bestie Book Reviews. It's a fast-paced suspense. I haven't read one of Vi Keelan's suspenses before. The blurb says that it's not a love story, but a story about obsession. Psychiatrist Meredith is dealing with a painful loss when she crosses paths with a man and follows him, sparking an unhealthy obsession. Then this man walks into her office as a patient, and instead of doing the ethical thing, she allows him to continue as a patient and gets more entangled with him. Okay, I'm here for it. Mandy said it was fantastic, and our likes align a lot, so I am hoping that she is right, and I will definitely let you and her know what I think about that. Next up, I have The Dark Before the Light by L.M. Halloran. Last year, I read the love song duet by her in my top 10 of the year. I will leave my top, what was it? Did I do top 10 or top 12? I can't remember. See, how am I supposed to remember what I read even 5 minutes ago? I can't even remember what my top whatever was, but that was in it. It was phenomenal. The just emotion that you get from her words, and that was the first thing I'd ever read by L.M. Halloran, and I've been hooked. So I've been wanting to read something else by her, so I picked up this book, and it's a physical copy. One of my goals for 2026 is to get rid of some of the physical TBR. Get rid of the physical TBR that I have, and so every month I want to pick at least one physical book that I have to read, to dwindle that down a little bit so then I can buy more, right? Girl math, that's how that works. But there is some similarity between this book and The Unraveling, because this one is a story about another therapist and psychologist who is treating an Irish tech CEO who has built his empire but is starting to crumble under his weight. Not necessarily a suspense, but again, we still have that dynamic of like therapist, psychologist, and patient. Again, I did not plan it. It just happens that way. I don't know how that happens, but it definitely does. Our MMC is forced into therapy, but is set in his ways that he cannot be helped. Like, he just does not think he can be helped, but I have to do this, so I'm going to do it. Our FMC puts aside ethical and professional boundaries when she starts to treat him, and her desire to help him stems from something he did in the past that changed her life. Those types where there's some type of backstory, a connection that they have, whether they don't realize it or one person realizes it, or like something like this where you've saved my life and you don't remember me kind of thing. Like, I really enjoy from what I've read of L.M. Halloran so far, which is just the duet. But I mean, I just can't see that her writing is going to be any different. It pulled me right in and made me feel everything. So I'm really excited about this one. A random act of kindness to him changed her life, and now she wants to pay it forward, but lines get crossed when the more they get to know one another, and the pull to know more comes into play. And then the last book that is on my TBR is a definite read. I will definitely get to it. Is going to be our buddy read for March. This is A Lost Song by Claire Kent. Never read anything by Claire Kent, and also it's a post-apocalyptic romance, which is kind of new for me. I haven't read anything post-apocalyptic or dystopian or anything like that since reading YA. So I'm diving back, and I took a big long pause from that. It was just all YA was back when I started reading YA, and so I needed like fantasy and all that. So I was taking a break from that. but I'm back in it. But I don't think that it's like too bad from what it sounds like. This is the first book in the Wild series, but it also sounds like it's a spin-off or in the same world as the Kindled series, if you've read that. Per Amber, per Mandy, per Jessica, they said that you can go into this blind like me. You could even, I think Mandy was saying that she picked up a book, maybe in the Kindled series, that was like book 3, and she was just fine. This is the first book. You should absolutely be fine. Our FMC and her high school boyfriend elope to a camper deep in the woods as news of a planet-altering event circulates. They want to escape the chaos that will inevitably happen. I mean, just think about that. Like, the world is about to end. People gonna lose their shit, right? It's now 3 years later, and she is alone and avoiding other survivors because who can you trust? An injured man basically drops at her doorstep, and she makes an impulsive decision to help him. She decides to help him until he heals and then let him go his separate ways because she doesn't really want him bringing her into danger. Everyone has their own demons from the disaster or whatever caused this world to implode, and that's all I know about that. So there you go. I believe that this is and the Kindled series are like interconnected, so we get the full story here, I believe. And that is it. That is my March TBR, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, which normally I do about 5 to 6 books. We'll see. If I can finish all 7 of those, I'm going to buy myself something. I'm going to buy myself another book. If I can finish all 7 of these, we're going to treat ourselves, okay? If Jennifer can finish all 7 of these books on her TBR by the end of March, we are getting a treat. Okay? Hold me to it. All right. Let me know what you're reading on your TBR. Are you going to join us for the buddy read on March 15th? For Last Song. These are shorter books. I know that there's a quicker turnaround with this one. This comes out on the 6th, and then our buddy read is on the 15th, but from what I've been told, they're around like right over 200 pages, which should not be a problem. Let me know if you're going to join us. I'm really excited to read something that is out of the scope of what I normally read. All right, I will see you next time for my February wrap up, where we talk about what I did or did not get to for February and what I thought about those books. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm going to see you next time. But until then, happy reading. Bye.